So I ran across this article talking about 4 must-have database marketing strategies for marketers, and I thought it was at the level that might help you to understand a little bit more about database marketing strategies. So I'm quickly going to go through the highlights of that particular article. Well, so we start off with the idea that there are many creative ways to implement a successful database marketing strategy. All kinds of businesses use all kinds of strategies. But it's important that each individual business finds a database marketing solution that fits their business model and provides a really good return on investment for them. And so what works for the goose might not be good for the gander. In an era when social media and other forms of advertising get the most attention, owning your own database could be that one weapon that sets you apart from your competition, because that allows you to communicate directly with your current customers and prospects. So, first strategy, you need to build an internal database. Building an internal database is expensive, but it's a long-term strategy that can produce amazing results over time. But you have to spend the time and the effort to build that database. There are 2 ways to go about building that database, and we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about that later on. But you can either build it yourself or you can outsource the whole activity. So you can buy something like Salesforce and use that to build your internal database. And then you have access to that database whenever you need it. Or you can go to someone like Oracle and let them build it. And then you can have them run the queries for you and help manage your database. So we'll talk more about that later on. So building an internal database can raise the equity and evaluation of a business, making it appealing to outside investors. But building a database, once again, costs money. So does managing it over time. So utilizing external database sources. So the most common approach to identify potential customers is using lists and modeling. So you can model your own best customers and then identify customers that look like them. That, of course, is what we refer to as cloning. The other approach is to rent a list, whether it's an email list, a phone list, or a surface mail list of potential customers. So for instance, if I'm selling golf equipment, I could go and buy the list of people who subscribe to Golf Magazine or the people who subscribe to Golf Digest magazine. Or I could just take my best customers, have a professional modeling company come in and determine what those customers look like, and then build a customer base that looks just like them. All right, so typically what you can do is you can use some third-party data sources like, for instance, Zillow does, and Trulia and Realtor.com. They tap into to Google search database. Business-to-business marketers can leverage LinkedIn's database to build a database of people who they think might be interested in a product. Facebook might be another way to do Facebook lead ads. Those are targeted ads based on Facebook's what's called Facebook lookalikes. At least with all of these technology, IP addresses of website visitors, all kinds of other things, are all ways that we could target individuals that we think are likely to become potential customers of ours. Another really good way to do that, of course, is with referrals, the best way to get customers. We also need to be able to work on customer retention. All right. And of course, the idea behind customer retention is to figure out which customers are the most valuable to us and then work to retain them. And there are lots of things that we can do to retain them that don't cost much money. But the other customer retention part of this strategy, of course, is identifying at-risk customers. That is, customers who could be either defecting or thinking about defecting. And so what we need to do is come up with some models that predict defection and then work preemptively to keep those people from defecting. So this is typically done with RFM. RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. Recency measures how recently people have purchased from us. Frequency obviously measures how frequently people buy from us. And monetary value measures the total amount spent with us. Another approach is to use customer lifetime value. In customer lifetime values, it's all about long-term profits and managing and trying to increase the long-term profitability of our best customers. And then fourth, we have segmentation and personalization. Over time, marketers aim to nurture their marketing database to form a perceived one-on-one relationship with customers. This is only done through personalization and customization. This people like cart abandoners or people who we segment into particular categories need to get people who we think are potentially at risk for leaving. Those are people who we want to target, segment, and then communicate with in a special way. So how does someone personalize and customize a message? There are lots of ways to do this, right? There's the Caesars Entertainment or Harrah's approach. All right, so the Caesars Entertainment approach is to take and segment their customers based on how valuable they are to the organization and what they're interested in, and then provide them with customized and personalized communications that are designed to be the least expensive for Harrah's, but are the most likely to get these people to fly out to Las Vegas and stay at one of their properties. There's another approach, and the other approach is, of course, an automated online approach. Okay, and an automated online approach is one where, based on what you have done, we send you personalized and customized emails. So we send it, so you've had this happen to you all the time now, where you get an email that says, "Oh, by the way, you left something in your cart." You're what they would call, that company would call a cart abandoner. And you are someone who is going to get an email that says, "Don't abandon that cart. Maybe you forgot about it. Now is the time to go back and purchase it." That's all done automatically, obviously. There are all kinds of other things that you might do. Email open rates, click-through rates, coupon redemptions, all kinds of other things. This happens all the time when I shop at a place called Callaway's demo website, where they sell clubs that they use for their demonstrations. If I leave something in the cart, they will remind me that I left something in the cart, and if I don't respond to that, typically in another day or so, they will send me a coupon for free shipping with a very short window on it, maybe 1 day. And the idea behind that is to create a last chance incentive for me to try to get me to make that purchase, and they're willing to pick up the shipping if I'm willing to buy from them. All examples of personalized and customized, response-oriented, reaction-oriented communications. Some final thoughts. Well, this is right where we started. There are many creative ways to implement a successful database. The key is to finding which strategy works for you, and that is scalable as your business grows.